people? Welcome back for another video, another series to review. Today we are going to be talking about episode number 2 of Netflix's live action anime adaptation with the same name called One Piece. Alright guys, so we saw that episode 1 ended with the Straw Hat Pirates, which is Luffy, Nami, and Zoro so far, get drugged to sleep by this approaching clown ship. And I'm going to be very honest with you. When I saw the end of episode 1, and they teased Buggy the Clown, I was not on board because, I mentioned in the episode 1 review, if you haven't seen it, I would appreciate if you guys can go back, check it out. But I had complained about some of these actors feeling like they're just in a theater play rather than a real show. There's a difference between a theater play and a show and a movie, and however the format may be, however it's captured. And I felt like some of the actors were just not up to par to the rest of the cast. And that was the type of vibe I was getting from Buggy the Clown. At the end of the very first episode, it just looked very corny, I guess you can say, right? But boy, oh boy, was I wrong, because episode 2 is better than the first episode in every way possible, and I was smiling and watching it from the very beginning to the very end. But before I go ahead and get started with the review, I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a gentle reminder that the world is full of a lot of negativity. I hope you're doing your part in spreading the positivity. Stop the hate, spread the love. Now on to the video. So as I had mentioned at the end of episode 1, the Straw Hat Pirates were captured by this clown ship, and episode 2 picks up right from there, where we meet Buggy the Clown, who is another wanted pirate. At this point I was like, okay, so is this show going to be like a pirate of the week type of thing, where some shows can fall in the whole generic villain of the week type of thing, and now is One Piece going to continue doing the same? I don't have anything against it yet. This is barely the second episode. For all I know, it's going to go ahead and change. And for those that are joining in this late, I'm only watching 1 to 2 episodes every week because I want to be able to digest it. I've heard a lot of great things about the manga, a lot of great things about the anime, but there is no way I'm sitting down to watch, 1,000 episodes of the anime or read the manga as much there is. So this is my way of enjoying this property. Hopefully they stick to everything that you guys love, all the anime watchers out there that love the anime. I hope they make you guys happy, because episode 2 definitely made me happy, right? So Buggy the Clown, his power is basically he also ate a devil fruit, and he can go ahead and separate his limbs however he wants. Where Luffy's devil fruit powers are that he can stretch his, right? So Buggy the Clown goes ahead, and minor spoilers, they're captured by Buggy the Clown and his pirate ship, and we discover that Buggy is just this really bad guy who, whenever he takes over a town or another ship, he goes ahead and uses the surviving townfolk as his basically slaves, right? They're sitting in the audience being forced to laugh at his jokes at his circus. And he finds out about our pirates, and guess what he's after? You guessed it, the map to the Grand Line that he's heard that Luffy has been able to obtain. So one of the best things about this episode, in my opinion, is that not only is it able to go ahead and let you know how these characters are growing with each other now that there's actually more teamwork involved between our big three, Zoro, Nami, and Luffy. But also, I am definitely loving the flashbacks showing who Luffy was when he was a kid. Now, granted, episode 1 also had flashbacks, but I think they were much stronger in this one because you really saw his relationship between he and Shanks, who is basically the pirate that he wants to make proud someday, right? He wants to be the king of the pirates and show Shanks who he grows up to be. And Shanks is a really likable person. I thoroughly enjoyed his scenes in episode 1 and 2. He's just a guy you want to be around, just such a nice role model. You could see why Luffy is the character he is. I feel like Shanks instilled that niceness in Luffy because he's giving all these advices to a young Luffy. And now in the present, Luffy is captured by Buggy, as I had mentioned, and they are basically being tortured to giving the map over to Buggy. And what comes out of that is more screen time between Nami and Zoro, them getting to know each other a little bit. And then you have Luffy, obviously, as I mentioned, he's having flashbacks. What I didn't understand, maybe you guys can help me out, is when Luffy is being basically waterboarded, right? He's stuck in the tank and they're just raising the seawater. Is he like, does it have something to do with rubber and seawater? Does it make him weaker or something? Or is it just because he has PTSD because he can't swim and he doesn't like water? So I didn't get why he was suffering in that. Maybe you guys can clear it out for me. But other than that, it was great seeing that he actually does have a big weakness and that he's not afraid to still be himself. That is the character of Luffy that I really love the most. And then Zoro obviously continues to have badass moments with his 3 swords being able to be the highlight of the action that happens in it, and how they beat Buggy. I really enjoy that as well because it was just so unique, right? Like, how do you beat a guy that you can't chop into pieces? Because it's not like they're shooting guns or anything in here. But even if they did, he'll probably just go ahead and put himself back together. Well, they found a way. I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen it yet, but they found a way. And I'm happy that it is what it is. Is it similar to the anime, the manga? I'm not sure. You guys can always keep me updated. Let me know. Is it actually accurate to what you've read or seen on anime and manga? Please leave it in the comment section down below. But I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I really liked the pacing of it. The sword fight, like I said, the choreography in the show for action is just amazing. And the set pieces, where I said in the first episode some of the places looked like a theater play, whether it's the stages they used, whether it's the actors they used. This episode felt like a real show. You know what I mean? The CGI was amazing. The set pieces they used were amazing. Nothing felt out of the ordinary. Everything felt like a high production value. And I appreciate that because I always just wonder when something is given like millions of dollars, why don't they use it correctly? And this episode definitely raised my hopes because the first one I was like, from the first episode I was like, okay, are they going to be cheap in some parts and stuff like that? But no, episode 2 did everything such a fantastic way. The story was great, the pacing was great, the characters were great, the character moments were great. Again, the camera work seems to be paying fan service to some of the angles they're using, so I'm going to go ahead and continue to really not belittle that too much. I'm going to go ahead and give this an 8.5 out of 10. Episode 2 was really fun for me to watch, but what about you guys? Did you guys enjoy it? Did you guys enjoy the episode? Or are you guys enjoying the review? Are you guys keeping it with it? Are you guys already done watching it, spreading it out like me? Whatever your thoughts are, leave it in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that post notification bell. Until next time, I hope you guys have a good one.